Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. So first off, I want to thank you all for getting me to, at this point I'm at 4,996 or something like that. Real close to 5,000 subs. I'm going to stream tonight at 7. You guys definitely slide through. We're going to talk schedule. We're going to talk the division, Giants football, all of that good stuff. But definitely slide through. It won't be too long. But I wanted to jump on there, give you guys a thank you, and live in person as much as in person on YouTube can be. And definitely check it out. But now the schedule has been released. It's been leaked. And officially the schedule is supposed to come out at 7:45 today. So bear with me. Some of these games may be in the wrong order. I'm very sure that they're not in the wrong order. But there's a small chance that some of this could be misprints. Some of this could not be true. So if not, obviously, I'll have to make another video. But I'm pretty sure these are true. So when you look at this schedule, first off, this is something I'm 99.999% is true. Week 1, we're playing Denver. The Denver Broncos. We're home against Denver, actually. So I'm happy that we got a home game starting off. I don't remember if the Pittsburgh game last year was a home game or away game, but it's always great to start off at home against the Broncos, a team that doesn't have their quarterback situation figured out. I think they took Surtain this year. So their guy Surtain, it's going to be his first game. He's a rookie corner. No matter how good you end up being as a corner, you're usually not going to be at the top of your game in week 1. That is a high learning curve kind of position. Even though Surtain was pretty much pro ready, I expect our receivers to be able to do what they want against that defense. If this defense turns into being a great defense throughout the season, it's probably going to be later on throughout that season. So I expect our corners to really, or our receivers to be able to do what they want. Not like we're going to put up 80 points or something ridiculous or 50 points. Not we're going to do something like that. But I expect us to be able to move the ball against them. And mind you, there hasn't been a training camp. Hasn't been any of that. These are my first level schedule predictions. So Denver, right now as it stands, if they do not have Aaron Rodgers, this looks like a win. If they do have Aaron Rodgers, I say it's a toss-up because I think our team is good enough to compete with this team, even with an Aaron Rodgers. But without an Aaron Rodgers, I'll say that this is a win. Drew Lock is not coming into New York, beating this defense, and especially what we have to add on offense. Week 2, we got Washington football team, Thursday night football. I think these two teams are the two best teams in the division. I can't wait to play Washington. This is a game that is going to be pretty close to me, so might think about going to this game. I don't know yet, but listen, Washington has been owned by Daniel Jones. He has not lost to Washington. They still want to talk trash about a guy who has never lost to them, and I think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to go in, get this win, and start off 2-0. I just don't see Washington having our number. I see Saquon every time he plays Washington. It's always ridiculous. The stats that he puts up and the way he's able to really just take over games against Washington is ridiculous. And then you add in a Galladay, you add in an improved DJ, you add in an improved defense. Yes, Chase Young, along with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller week 1. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and the rest of those guys are going to be coming. But Andrew Thomas did really well against Chase Young in the limited reps. I mean, I guess you have probably about a full game, maybe a game and a half's worth of reps against Chase Young. And he's done really well. He's done very well against Chase Young so far. So I expect him to continue to do that. It's all up to what Matt Parrott does against Montez Sweat, because Montez Sweat has shown that he can ruin games too. But I think we'll be able to grind this out, especially on the ground, and then, turn that into the pass. Because if we can run the football, the pass rush can be neutralized. So starting off 2-0, there we go. Week 3 is when I think our offense will have its coming out party. We'll finally be able to go away from the quick passing game that we're probably going to be throwing in the first 2 weeks. Because week 1, you're facing Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. Week 2, you're facing Chase Young and you're facing Montez Sweat. Week 3, you're not really going against much. You're really not having to deal with much as far as in the pass rush game. Yes, you have Grady Jarrett. Yes, he might be lined up over the right guard, which could be a huge question mark. But I just don't think Atlanta's defense gives you enough to really be worried about their defense. And I think this will be a shootout. But the thing is, I believe in our defense enough to not turn this into a high volume kind of 30-30, both teams are in the high 30s kind of shootout. But I do think we will be in the high 30s in this game in week 3, and we will win against Atlanta. All right, moving on to New Orleans. New Orleans, they're in a transition phase. They could be the same team that they were last year with Jameis Winston. They could be a completely different team. I do not know what to expect for this game, but I think just because they're in this transition phase, we'll be able to go in and get this win. So that starts us off at 4-0. Now, listen, last season I think I had us going 10-6 before the season started. But moving on to week 5 in Dallas, I don't think we'll sweep this entire division. And this is our first time against Dallas. This is Dax. I'm not sure if he got injured at Dallas or in New York, but listen, I see the Cowboys probably beating us this first game. I just see it happening. I see them going out and putting up points. We're probably going to be having some issues, especially coming off of 4 wins. Probably going to be having a couple of communication issues. In the secondary, we've added so many new people, and Dallas is going to be high-powered. Their offense is going to be high-powered. So I just see, you're just always due for one. I see us losing to Dallas. So that puts us at 4-1. And moving into the Los Angeles Rams, I could see us easily dropping that game too, which will drop us to 4-2. Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and just what the Rams provide is just ridiculous. It's just next level. And we almost beat them last year with what we had last year. We almost won. And DJ ended up throwing that interception. But the Rams are a very quality football team. And I could just see us losing that game. And now moving to week 7. So right now we're sitting at 4-2. Going into week 7, playing Carolina, Sam Darnold, he's got weapons. He's got C-Mac. So they're not just a pushover kind of team. They've got weapons. And I think Sam Darnold is at least a competent quarterback, especially at this point in his career. This will also be at a point where he's 6 or 7 weeks into the season. So it's not like he's brand new to this system, brand new to this team. I think we're going to destroy Sam Darnold and the Panthers this week 7 game, especially since it's a home game. I really see us going and really I just can't see Sam Darnold and the Panthers coming into New York and winning that game. I'm going to just move us to 5-3. Going into Kansas City. And mind you, listen, the competitive person in me, I'm not going to be out on the field, but I still have that competitiveness in my head. As soon as I saw Patrick Mahomes ascend to that level of being who he was, I could not wait. I could not wait to finally play against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs just to see how my team matches. It's not like I thought that my team was some Super Bowl contender back then, but I just want to see my team play against guys like this. And Week 8 at Kansas City on Monday Night Football, that might be a signature win for us. I got this. I got us as winning this game. I have us as winning this game against Kansas City Week 8. And it's not because I'm saying my team is just so dominant that they're just going to just roll over Kansas City. I just think we match up very well against them. I think we have a number of safeties who can play man coverage and a genius of a defensive coordinator that can guard Travis Kelce. And then you have someone like Adoree Jackson, who ran with Tyreek Hill the last time they played. He didn't completely shut him down, but he did not allow the huge, big chunk play because he does have that speed. So Adoree Jackson on Tyreek Hill, yes, Tyreek will still get his, but he won't break the game open. So I love Adoree Jackson on the Giants. That's the perfect matchup for Tyreek Hill. And then whoever else they roll out there, I can't really remember who they drafted. I think they did draft a receiver. But whoever they roll out there as that third option at receiver on the outside, they're going to be dealing with Bradbury or they're going to be dealing with Aaron Robinson. Whoever they decide to roll out there, it's not going to be easy for them. So I'm very excited for this game because I think that'll be our signature win. Every team, well, not every team, but every year it seems like the Giants have a signature win that they're not supposed to win. And I think this year it'll be Kansas City. Maybe they're on the downside. Maybe, KC is coming off of a down game or whoever knows. But I think we're going to win this game. And that's going to put us at, let me see, at week 8. So we should have 8 games so far. So that puts us at 6-2 because we lost to the Rams and we lost to Dallas. So 6-2 in 8 weeks so far is great. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for. And then with the Raiders, I don't really have much to say about the Raiders. Their draft was very interesting. Leatherwood, I think, will end up being a good player. But, I just see us beating the Raiders. I think we're, at this point, 2 different levels of teams. I really believe the Giants have elevated their team and their roster this offseason. Of course, the games have to be played, and this is all projection. But I believe that the Raiders are just not as good of a football team as us, and it's going to be shown right there. So moving on to 7-2, going into Week 11, I believe that the Giants will not, in a 4-week span, beat Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. So since they beat Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady's up next. And I see us losing another close game to Tom Brady at the end of the game, kind of like what happened last time. We always play Tom Brady close. It doesn't matter. But I just don't see us beating these 2 quarterbacks within 4 weeks of each other. So that puts us at 7-3 going into Philadelphia. And Giants fans, we had to wait 12 weeks to get to Philadelphia. It is a home game, so we're technically in New Jersey, but we had to wait 12 weeks to finally get Philadelphia. Who knows? Jalen Hurts could be in there playing. Joe Flacco could be in there playing. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to expect Jalen Hurts to have this team playing good football, whether, I don't know what their record will be, but I think Jalen Hurts elevates this team. And in Week 12, I think we're going to go into Philadelphia and pile it on. That's what Giants fans have been saying for months. And sometimes when you talk about something for so long, the opposite happens and you just get blown out. But I just really feel like the Giants in that first meetup especially, is just going to just pile it on over Philadelphia, especially when we're returning a lot. We're returning a good amount of our defensive starters, and DJ's still there. Saquon is coming back. He wasn't there, but I think a lot of these Giants remember what happened at the end of that season, remember what happened in this draft, and it's all in good fun. We all know it's business is business, but I believe that the Giants will go into Philadelphia, or will welcome Philadelphia into their stadium, and it'll be a blowout. So moving on with an 8-3 football team, which, I mean, that's all you can ask for. 8-3 at this point. Moving on to Miami. Miami is an interesting thing because I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to think of Tua. They got Jalen Waddle for him. They got some weapons for him. They got Will Fuller. Will Will Fuller be healthy? I don't know. So I'm going to say that we play Miami close. And I think we win this game. I think we win this game and we slide to 9-3. Miami is basically a carbon copy of our defense, or we're a carbon copy of Miami, all kind of going back to New England. Just a little bit different on both trees, but I like Miami a lot. I think they're going to be a really good football team, but it's just something I don't believe about in Tua. It's just something about Tua I just can't believe in. I can't get behind it. If I believed a little bit more on Tua, I would give us this loss here, but hopefully Tua goes out and proves something. He showed something really good against the Cardinals last year. If he can be that quarterback this year, then the sky's the limit for Miami. Like, starting now, they're a legit Super Bowl kind of contender. So I have it said 9-3 so far. 9-3. All right. So at this point, now I have it set 10-3. Have it set 10-3 after the Miami game. And now we play the Chargers, and Justin Herbert is probably going to be on fire. This is when we see if Justin Herbert had a rookie kind of explosion and he has a sophomore slump, or if Justin Herbert is really like the truth and a legendary player. I think they addressed the offensive line. I think he has weapons galore. I think his defense will be better than it was last year even. And who knows? It's just about the jump that he makes and the maturity steps that he takes. I'm going to say give me Justin Herbert in this game. and we're going to lose this game. And I think at this point we're on a 2-game winning streak. But at this point we've only lost 4 games. So I see us sitting at 10-4 going into Dallas. This time we have a home game against Dallas. That's something that's great. Home game against Dallas, we win. We win. They beat us the first time, and we get them this next time. And then at this point in week 16, we're going to Philadelphia. I see us sweeping Philadelphia. This one will be a lot more close. Could be another blowout, but I see this being a lot more close as, you know, people get those last couple of kicks, and they might be trying to knock us down a couple of pegs because we'll probably be competing with Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys for this #1 spot in the division at this point, because I see both of those teams with very high potential records. So at that point, we will be 11-4, and I think at this point we will have either locked up a playoff spot or locked up the division. I think at this point, depending on what the Washington football team does, we could be locking up this division with that win against Philadelphia. So I think at that point we're at 11-4, and then Chicago's coming up. Chicago, we have to win this game. We have their draft pick. We got to go in there and win that game. We got to go in there with no excuses. We got to go in there and win that game. Maybe Justin Fields will be on fire, but hopefully we can go in here and beat the Chicago Bears, because if we win, it's literally like we tanked the game because we get their draft pick. So at that point, we're 12-4, which is ridiculous. I don't think anybody in the mainstream media is going to predict for the Giants to be 12-4 in week 17. And guess what? We got an extra game this year. Went to a 17-game season. So we're going to get one of these weird records, and we will go from 12-4 going as a home opener. As a home opener, we will play against Washington. And not a home opener, a home closer. We will have a home closer against Washington. And I think that Joe Judge might have the opportunity to sit his guys against Washington, but he's not going to sit his guys. Joe Judge doesn't seem like that kind of coach to me. He's not going to sit his guys. And we're going to go in there and win that game to sweep Washington. So guess what? That puts us at 13-4. Now, this is an extremely homer kind of take. Do I expect us to go 13-4? I'm not sure. The team looks great. But do I actually expect us to go 13-4? Everybody hits bumps. But what I'm looking at on paper, our roster, what we have, if we play the kind of football that we're supposed to play, which under Joe Judge looks like we usually do. It looks like Joe Judge usually has his team ready to play. If we can play the kind of football that we played last year, except with more talent, the sky is really the limit. We could have a super season like this, but I expect the Giants at the end of this season to have at least 10 wins. I do expect that. I don't know about 13. Things can swing either way. It's the NFL. But I do expect at least 10 wins, and I do expect a playoff berth. You guys let me know what you think based on this schedule. Again, I'll go through it. Denver, Washington, Atlanta, Saints, Cowboys, Rams, Panthers, Chiefs, Raiders, Buccaneers, Eagles, Dolphins, Chargers, Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, Washington football team. You guys let me know who out of these games, first of all, that you're most excited to play. And don't say Eagles, go out of the division because that's obvious. But who out of these teams you're excited to play, and then what you expect our record to be. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.